Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Radical Reality Productions. We are here in our finale week with our sixth place finisher and the fifth member of our jury and our newest member of production, Bill McGrath. Bill, how are you?
Hi, kids, my people. I am good.
And as always, good.
After reliving the trauma of last night by watching the episode, but I think I am sufficiently recovered to talk to you.
Not as bad as the skunk episode. That's all I got to say.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. With that, I am here, and we got our extra specialist, Julia Rowe, who's going to go ahead and ask you your questions, and we're going to get started today.
Bill, a pleasure as always to be talking to you.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to start it off. So walk me through everything. Where do you think it all went wrong for you?
Okay, so here's the thing. First of all, by this time we had been, at least 8 hours in, probably more. And first, boom, I hit a wall. And I mean, I knew where everything was going. And I voted right every round except for two, and one of them was on purpose. But that round, I had no clue. And I think part of that was brain freeze. So that was like short term. Longer term, I think I made two fatal errors. I mean, I thought I was playing a good game. I thought I had sort of led or helped lead the charge on both Lily and John in retrospect. And then I sort of did what I usually try to do, is make people forget me sort of in the mid post merge, but still try to plant some seeds. But all of a sudden we hit that 6, and I think my brain shut off, and everybody sort of scurried around and decided Bill, since Victoria was free, was safe. But two big mistakes. One was being too focused on the Women's Alliance. And I don't think it got in the clips, or in the show, but there was one point, was it early merge, very early merge, that I bopped into a room. It must have taken a little time for my audio and video to kick in, but I'm hearing Lily, Victoria, and Mackenzie sort of do blood oaths for a woman's alliance. And they were like, yes, and Carrie will do it too. And so I'm like, fuck this. And then I awkwardly appear on the screen and go, oh gosh, I hope that you'll include me. And they all scattered. So I should have tried. That sort of made me focus on them a lot. And so probably not make the overtures I should have made to work with them. That was one mistake. My second mistake was not continuing my holy war against getting DCP production out of there. I should have got Lily, got John, should have kept it up for Ian and Carrie, but I fell under Ian's mist.
Just one thing to be careful about. It's McKenna, not Mackenzie.
Why did I do that? I'm sorry.
Dude, you're good. I just want to let you know. Wrong person.
I apologize.
No, you're good. It sounds funny because I know who Mackenzie is.
So that kind of leads me into my next question. You are one of the most vocal people about not letting previous connections run the game. What was your approach overall to pre-existing relationships once you saw the cast before the game got started? How did you use them to your advantage? And how do you think they eventually led to your downfall?
I always go in, I mean, you can't ignore pre-existing relationships. And despite how much everyone says it, you also can't play the game on a blank slate. Okay. And maybe it's either someone you worked well with or someone you developed a relationship that you like. You kind of don't ride that all the way to the end, but you definitely use that. I felt, well, I would have felt bad in the beginning. I did not want to, I would have loved for Andrew to stay around, except for the fact that he and McKenna were kicking my name around the very first round. And I heard about it almost immediately. So it was like, nah. And then I didn't even suggest Andrew. But once that's where the target was going, I was like, okay, cool. Because I would have loved to put together, and this was a while back, so I'm very hazy on who was on what tribe and when I worked with different people. But I would have loved, I think at that time, I would have loved to get Gabby and then Matt and then Andrew together and be a force as kind of the sort of, I would almost call it the outsiders, or to reference another game, the leftovers, because neither Gabby nor I think are as connected up with the DCP people, as we don't have as deep a regular out-of-game relationship. And, Andrew and Matt, my boy Matt, we're both strangers in a strange land. I worked so hard to keep him.
It's fine. He's only okay.
So I wish that could have happened. But again, Andrew, if you're watching, it all went to shit when you threw my name. Don't throw my name. I don't know if it's good or bad. I have a hard time getting past where someone has actually been sort of the first person or people to affirmatively say my name.
I'm well aware.
You are dead to me. Yes, sir.
Thank you for that very insightful answer. So obviously your vote count was really close as you went out on a successful 3-2-1 and you were the vote in the one. You said at some point you wanted to stay loyal to Ian, but later on you said you figured there was a possibility it was you. What still at that point went into your decision for you to throw that vote, knowing there probably was a possibility your name was out there and that voting Ian might be the better course of action?
Oh, so much stuff going on there. Partially, first off, is the Ian mist. I love Ian. It's and I think there's at least a modicum of return love. He fought for me to be on his draft team last time I played DCP, although he failed. He's just he's a great guy. And he has the mist, which is how he did in fact manage to remain up to this point in the game, up to the final six, when a bunch of people had a target on his back beforehand. Second, I try very hard not to tell actual affirmative lies in games. I will mislead, I will go, I may not say things, but I told him I would not vote for him that round, so I was not going to vote for him that round. It did not dawn on me, and I thought I had one locked vote on McKenna, and then another person who I thought would go McKenna. So I thought I had a little something there. I was nervous about it, but again, I gave my word, which only could have maybe been changed had I gotten in a room with Kyle and Kyle said, yes, definitely, now's the time. I mean, I was all prepared to go for Ian at 5. I figured Ian at 5, by that time, everyone is fired up for it. That's the place to kill him. And once again, maybe to my detriment, I was focused on McKenna because it was still fairly obvious that the ladies were working together. And so I didn't want to go into 5 with the women having the majority. So that and the fact that I am the king of getting myself knocked out of games by hinky votes, or getting my allies knocked out of games by hinky votes. This is like at least the 3rd time in a game where I have voted in a way that directly resulted in my own elimination.
What's the quote? Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results.
Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, and what's funny is that had I voted Ian, I probably would have accomplished both of my goals, or at least the odds were I would accomplish both of my goals, because it would be 3 women, 1 guy on the wheel. So in terms of whatever nerves I had, again, about the continued women's alliance.
Yeah, it would be Carrie, McKenna, and Kyle on the wheel because Victoria had immunity.
Oh, that's right. That's
Yeah.
right.
So it'd been, but either way, still better odds for you than.
Still better odds than what was happening.
I do have a follow-up question, and I'm sorry I steal one from Julia, but like you said, you see the woman as a big threat, but we see in the episode, and eventually, your episodes together, so I could say this, we see Victoria goes out the next round because she is this big threat. So like, why do you think the women are working together when everyone's saying, dude, we got to get her out when she loses because if we let her get to the end, she's gonna win. So like, why do you still think the women are together? Do you think that was like more of a plot, this them saying that, than rather than it actually being reality?
Right. No, and again, by we are once again at the point where maybe all of the brain synapses aren't connecting as well as they should. But no, I knew the shot would be at Victoria as soon as there was a chance, which actually would have. But with Victoria safe, we were going to go in 3-2 to the final 5, unless either McKenna or Carrie went out. And again, there's no way of knowing what happens next.
Right. It's like you're saying if she did win immunity, you think.
Yes.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Okay, gotcha.
So yeah, but of course, I shot myself in the foot. Ian, I should have broken my promise. Or not have.
If you don't mind me asking, who were the votes again that you assumed or thought were going to be on McKenna?
If I remember right, it was the boys. And again, in terms of what they were telling me, but obviously they were both feeding me hot, steaming piles of something that entire round. I knew, though. I absolutely knew. Every room I went into, it was like, after the conversation I had with Ian early on, where we sort of got engaged, I thought, yeah, I wasn't getting anything from anyone.
Do you think that maybe pushing a different name would have got more traction and helped you stay a little bit longer?
No. I well, based on what I knew at the time, no. Looking back, Yeah, I don't think it would have, because I don't think Carrie was going anywhere or on people's radar really. And, apparently, Ian and Kyle had actually said the final two words to each other, which is, again, me stupid. I'm going to have to reevaluate. I will not actually say the words final two unless I absolutely mean it. I'll say ride or die until the day is long, because I'm not really promising anything. But yeah, I need to lie more, or I need to lie more affirmatively.
I found that it's quite helpful.
Yes. So yes, that's my big takeaway from this.
Yep. Those are the main questions I have. I do have one more, but I'm going to ask at the end after Jay has some questions from our viewers. So I'm going to hand it over to them.
All right, we do as always. So first thing is first, this comes from Ian, your husband, I guess now. Fiance.
Let's go.
Why did you not say whose name Victoria was throwing out when she was target number numero uno?
Ian, you're a chucklehead. Okay, I don't remember, and I don't think there was this grand strategy behind it. I think maybe a part of my, really rattled brain by that point had thought, oh, we'll just kid with him a little. And it's like, okay, they're going after one of the two of you. Everyone with half a brain knows who that one person was. Now, looking back, I thought I had also said something like, well, just guess who it is. I went back and looked and I didn't, but still, it's like, how freaking obvious. Okay. I mean, maybe my mistake, but that just rolled in his brain, and he came to a conclusion from it that still, after watching him reason it out, is still kind of a disconnect for me. There is no straight line between me saying they're coming after one of you when it was perfectly obvious who it was, and him thinking I'm going to vote for him or try to put him out somewhere. There is absolutely no logic to that I can see. And you know how to get in touch with me if you want to try to explain that again.
And ultimately, it is the person she voted for. So just put that out there.
Sorry.
I said ultimately, it is the person she voted for who she was targeting. So the person whose name she said was ultimately so.
Yes.
Next, we got a question from Carrie, and she says, Bill, did anything in this game make you say it's a game in quotations? Also, how can I be like you when I grow up?
Okay, first one. I mean, yeah, just about everything makes me say it's a game. You can't take this crap too seriously, especially in a situation like this where, once again, you're playing with people who you like. And I mean, really, there was such a good vibe in this cast. It was a great deal of fun to play. I still feel bad for the silent minority who weren't really as connected in. And I really did try to do I worked my ass off to try to save Matt. And for about 30 seconds, I thought I had it.
Okay, he deserved it.
Matt always deserves it.
Oh, no. Matt was, if I could get him to the merge, I was going to try to set Matt up as my secret weapon, because the people who I wanted to work with, I kept telling, and I thought this more helped, not hurt. But listen, He doesn't know anybody. I've met him before. If we can work with him, or if we don't vote him out, we can work with him. That will be a locked extra vote. And then I'll still cut his ass at 5 or 6. Now, whether I would have, that might have been turned out to be an affirmative lie, but probably not, because if a rookie or if someone no one else knew made it to the end, they'd win.
All right, yeah. I kind of get what you're saying. I think your approach of like, hey, Matt's a number, Matt, like it was a good approach. But I think because Matt is this big threat that just won a week prior, and Zach Zach said they began to screw him over when they said that. But I think had that not happened and Matt had not beast that challenge, you would have had like a chance at saving him.
Yeah, but yeah, it's and not even that Matt is a good player, which as much as we'd hate to admit, he kind of is. Yeah, Zach just stuck a knife in his back. We should have actually gotten rid of him then, because we should have gotten rid of Matt then, because he became ultimately useless once he got this reputation as the mini king.
Matt, if you're listening, you should have just told me when fire making. You wouldn't have been voted out early in my mini. I just got to give Matt shit for something. We all know that.
But no, it's a game. And there were just a couple of times, you kind of do the head smack at the moment, and then it's like, okay, on we go. It's, Matt screwing up that vote where Gabby went out was kind of a, Gabby accusing me of flipping. That one, Gabby, I'm still a little annoyed by.
We'll get to that.
The whole thing all the way through. It was like, it's a game. What was the other? Oh,
also, how can I be like you when I grow up?
Drink a lot of Jamesons. Start to smoke. Really, really kind of burn out on all your relationships after like a year and a half, and then kick them to the curb. Eat a lot of pizza.
Fair enough. There you go, Carrie. You got your answers. So
that would be it.
Start preparing now, I guess. And also, we just have a comment from McKenna. Bill, I love you, and I'm so glad to have met you. This is McKenna Feeney, by the way. I'm so glad I met you. Hashtag King stays king.
I love her. I love everybody but McKenna, but Ms. Feeney has my heart.
She is a great one, that's for sure. All right. Now we just kind of have a come from Gabby, because she asked the question I think we kind of touched upon of making the vote rock 3-3. So she kind of touched upon that, so I'm just going to read her comment. Bill, sad we didn't get to move on together for merge. And once again, sorry for incorrectly thinking you flipped on me at the last pre-merge round. And then she said her question was the stray vote instead of making it 3-3. So yeah, I don't know if you want to say anything about her apologize or anything.
Oh, no. That's fine. I'm kidding around. She knows about her. But yeah, and I wonder about Matt. I mean, he sort of said he did it. I think at one point he said he did it to save me, but no, that made no sense.
Matt just didn't know where the votes were going. Let's be honest. That's what happened.
We told him.
He's Matt. You should know that.
We told him. I wondered if it was part about the fact that it would lead to rocks, because you well know, I do not fear the rock.
Never.
But I don't know if that put him off, but yeah, that was semi-inexplicable. But yes, Gabby, all is forgiven.
All right, sounds good. And that's all I have. I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to Julia.
So obviously, as a member of the jury, you get to be part of crowning the winner of our season without revealing exactly who you voted for. What were you looking for in a winner when you went to go cast your vote?
Okay, well, first, wasn't your pre-jury question, why didn't you use the, why didn't you use the,
Yes.
Yeah, but it was expired this round. That's
well, yes, but I need to answer it anyway. That is the worst fucking twist in the face of the universe.
I agree.
You never give up your vote.
The vote is the most powerful weapon in Survivor.
I would, you know, I would if I knew I was gone.
Yes. No. And I will tell you, I mean, that was my reaction when I first saw it on the show. But then just to sort of reinforce that, I think the first game I played after they first announced that twist, they did have Shot in the Dark, and we got a fairly bad swap screw. And so I decided to use it. And in between the person that my equally swap screwed partner, hi Sophia, was targeting, in between who the two of us were targeting, the fact that the three on the other side decided to split the vote, and the fact that the woman we were targeting decided to use her Shot in the Dark. If I had actually voted, I would have stayed, and we would have flipped the whole thing. So yes, Shot in the Dark, bad. Okay, but on to this. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I say that's why I like it, because I think it has that element of like, I don't know, I personally think, listen, I think you have to give someone, I think it's a good chance because it's that risk and for reward. It's like, listen, like if you're someone like, let's say like Elijah, or like even your Victoria's position where you know you're going out unanimously, I think it works out in those situations. I think like what you're saying is correct. But like my position is like, if you know you got nothing else to do and you know you're going to be a unanimous vote, why not go for it? Like, you know, what do you have to lose at that point? So that's my like thing on when you know everyone's voting for you. That's how I like. That's when I like it. You know.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still philosophically opposed to it. And then from my own personal experience, nah, I'll never use the motherfucker. I don't care. Okay. What do I look for in a winner? Someone else said this. I think Lily said this. And I agree with it. It's not necessarily the person who played the flashiest game. You know, I think sort of the obvious big moves during the game, I mean, that certainly helps. Or the challenge beast, but I don't actually think neither of those are determinative factors for me. Because once again, there are people who make sure they shout out during the game and realize, look, my move, my move. You know, there are some people who sort of shout out other people's moves as being their move. So for me, I want someone who played a strong, steady game throughout. And mostly for me, Final Tribal is very big, very big. It's regardless of what my perceptions were of you during the game, if you can set the table and show me this is what you did, then I'm all for that. And if you are the person who, you know, even if you are the person I thought was a superstar, as it were, if you don't lay that out and really be able to back up your claim moves, I don't find that. And challenges, I'm actually kind of meh on challenges in terms of wins, because obviously what challenges mean or advantages mean is that you have to work less hard. Those of us who are stooges and rarely win a challenge, it just means you have to go out every round and do the heavy lifting to keep yourself safe. So, but yeah, bottom line for me, it comes down to how you explain your game and how you win your game at Final Tribal.
Well, that's all the questions I have. Bill, like I said, a pleasure as always. I'm going to throw it over to Jay with just some housekeeping, but thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah,
Thank
great.
you. Love you.
My great skunk brother, skunk uncle. Been a pleasure having this season. I'm so glad we got you to play, and even better to have you on production. But now for the great little housekeeping tips. We are recording right after this, Victoria, so they'll be up simultaneously. Tomorrow night is the finale. We don't have exact dates for a lot of stuff yet, but we do have the final 4 interviews, and we also have the recap and the reunion. Me and Marvin are actually doing recap for the final 7 episode tonight, and then we're also going to be doing the finale week episodes next Friday with a special guest. But I'm going to do a shameless plug right now. We are currently casting for Bayonetta Island season 2. That is on September 17th. We did have to change the date. But if you want to be involved, newbies, everyone's welcome. And if you want to be tortured in challenges, I can tell you Bill, as a challenge guru, has some good ones that you guys are going to love. And it's going to be a lot of fun. Please apply. Do what you can do. And we guys will see you guys soon. I'm your host, Jay Milligan. We got Julia Rowe, as always, and our 6th place finisher, Bill. Good night, everyone.
Bye.